never shall the sun that morrow see. Your face, my thing, is a book where men may read the strange things. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your face, your hand, your tongue. He who is becoming must be provided for, and you shall put tonight's great business into my dispatch, which I shall, to all our days and nights to come, bring solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up ever clear. To alter favor is to fear. Leave the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air sweetly and nimbly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. See our honored hostess. Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We cursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him.
If it were done, when 'tis done, 'twere best it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, then that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal in time, we'd jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then is his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss and not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk? Wherein it dressed itself? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art? In desire would thou have that which thou esteemest, the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I would, wait upon I dare not, like the poor cat I the adage.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man, and to have done so you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and you would make them both. They make themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have ripped my nipple from its boneless guns and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have to this.
If we should fail,
we fail. Screw your courage to the sticking place, and we shall not fail. Tonight, when Duncan is asleep, where to the rather his long day's journey will soundly convince him, I shall his 2 chamberlains with wine and wassail so thoroughly convince that memory, the warder of the brain, will be but a fume, and reason a limbeck only. When in their swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as if in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded drunkard? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great 12?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 from his own chamber with their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, when we will clamor, roar, and grieve upon their death?
I'm settled. And bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away. Mock the time with fairest show, false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Who's there?
It's a friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed, he hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
If you shall cleave to my consent, when 'tis, it shall make honor for you. Good repose the while. Is this a dagger I see before me? Its handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling, as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee still. In form as palpable as this, which now I draw, thou marshalest me the way I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Are mine eyes made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest? I see thee still. And on thy blade in dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which commends thus to mine eyes. Now where the one half-world nature seems dead, and withered, wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings. And withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf whose howls his watch thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides moves towards his design like a ghost. Thou, sure and firm-set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Well, as I threat he lives, words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
What hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quelled quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! It was the owl that screeched. The fatal bellman. He gives the sternest good night. He is about it.
Who's there? What? Who?
Alas! I am afraid they have awakened, and 'tis not done. 'Tis the attempt, and not the deed, which confounds us. I laid the daggers ready, he could not miss him. I'd have done it myself, had he not resembled my father as he slept. My husband.
I have done the deed. Dost thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl shriek and the crickets cry. Did not he speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
I.
Oh, this is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep. Then one cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as if they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought of in these ways. It will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep, innocent sleep. Chief nourisher in life's feast.
Who was it that cried thus? Why? Worthy Thane, do you unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of these things? Go, wash your hands. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid. I dare not think what I have done. I can't look at it.
Infirm of purpose!
This is a knocking! How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are these? They pluck out my eyes. Will all Neptune's ocean wash blood clean from my hands? No. This hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnine, making the green one red.
My hands are the same color as yours, but I shame to wear a heart so white. There is a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber, a little water clears us of this deed. Be not so lost in your thoughts.
To know my deeds were best not know myself. Take Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have old turn in the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in, farmer, have napkins and now about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Why, here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, that committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, it's an English tailor. Oh.